Hello. Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Had your lunch?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
We're waiting for class to finish, or what?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
so eager about classes, sir. ನೇಹ ಬಂದ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಊಟ ಗೀಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದೈತ ಆಕಿ. Okay. 16 join now. Yes, have you completed those programs?
Yes, sir.
So only 2 have submitted in Wise app for the 3 programs. Achala has written all the 3 programs correct. So but Srinidhi, so first one still needs some improvement in the program, but third one is wrong. It's not the one as we are expecting, right? It's not giving the expected output also. Is this Srinidhi?
Yes, sir.
Third one is not giving the correct output as we are expecting. So but first one little improvement is required. We can do that modification. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So 18 has joined, 18 joined. Shall I start the class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. What is dictionary? What is dictionary? Hello all.
Collection of key value pair.
Collection of key value pairs. Okay. How dictionaries are different from list?
They are unordered.
Which one?
Dictionaries, sir.
Dictionaries are unordered. What about list?
They are in ordered.
Ordered. Okay. Why you call those as ordered?
It will be from 0 index to so on.
Starts from the index value 0. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah, then what about the index values of a dictionary?
Integers.
What about index
Data
values?
types.
We can use different data types. Sir.
sir.
You can have. You can
Any
use
data types.
Any data types.
Different data types.
You can use any data type. Int, float, or string, or even in combination. Some elements can have integer, some elements can have string type. So all you can use any type you can use for any value, right? Okay, so that all we discussed in the last class. So now the continuation of dictionary. So in today's class, I'm going to discuss about the methods. So the different methods that are available. So but here again for this dictionary, so I'm going to explain some of the methods and some I give you as assignment to learn yourself and to come back with the explanation of those. Right. So I may ask anyone to answer in next class. Hmm? For few of the methods, right? Okay, so let me share the screen and start the this class. Okay, so today I'm going to discuss about the methods of a dictionary, right? So right, so first we'll move with the first three of the methods of a dictionary. So first to know which are the methods available for the dictionary data type. Okay, so let's okay, so to know the methods available for the dictionary to work. Okay, so what you can do, first you create one dictionary, right? Just an empty dictionary is also enough. Okay, then to know the methods available on the dictionary to work, then you can use this dir method. Okay, if you execute it on dictionary, so then it will show you the list of methods available to work with, right? So where we have a function, we have a method called as clear, copy. So these you already studied, this clear and copy function you already studied in studied with list. Okay, likewise so here in dictionary also you can use clear, copy. There is a from keys function, get function, items function, keys, pop item, set default, update, values, right? So now first we'll see three of the methods here, that is keys, values and items methods, right? What are the importance of these methods and where we actually require these methods? So that I'll address with some examples. Let's create some dictionary, right? So first I'll go with the dictionary. For example, I have a ABC with the value 10, and then I'll take another key called as PQR, and whose value I'm going to store as 20. Then one more I'll take a that's for example MNO, right? Then I'll set the value 30 for it, right? Now there are three items in the dictionary, right? So with the key value pairs like ABC with value 10, PQR with the value 20, and MNO with the 30. So now to retrieve only keys, from the dictionary. So what you can do, you can use a function called as, so you can use a method called as d.keys. So you can see this one here, there is a method called as keys, so that you can access through the name of the dictionary. So that is d is the name of the dictionary followed by dot operator followed by method name. If we execute this one, then you'll get only the keys from the dictionary, that is ABC, PQR and then MNO. So three have been retrieved and it has given the output for us, right? Now it is just like you look at here, these three items are enclosed in square bracket. Look at here, square bracket. So then what is the square bracket meaning? What is the meaning of square bracket? Using square bracket, what is square bracket? Yes,
List.
okay, so that's why. So here is nothing but now it is giving us a list, like it is not exactly true list, it is not exactly true list, but it is a list like data. It is list like data. That's why I'm calling it as it's a square bracket. Since there is a square bracket here, we can call it as it is a list like data. It retrieved from the dictionary, right? So we have here a list like data from the dictionary with the keys in the list. That is ABC, PQR, MNO. Likewise, you can get one more, that is values. Only values can be retrieved. That is this 10, 20, 30. So only those values can be retrieved as of list type, with the help of function called as or method called as d dot values. So that is 10, 20, 30. So these are not pure list. These are not pure list. But if you want to create these as a pure list, then what you can do is you can execute the function something like this. That is like this, list of d dot keys. So then you'll get a true list here. What is the difference between true list and list like data? What is the difference between that? Which means that, see here, when I say it is a true list, then you can perform all of the operations on the list. That is, you can append, you can do the append operation, you can do the extend operation, you can do copy. All those operations you can perform on the list, true list. But when it is a list like data, then you can't perform the append operation or extend operation. You can't do any modification. You can't do any modification. Just you can read the values from the list. Are you getting my point? Right? Did you understand this one? Hello all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between true list and list like data? What is the difference between true list and list like data?
True list can be modified or like we can perform all the operations. So.
Perform any of the operations of the list on the true list. So, but when you retrieve with this form, okay, when you retrieve the keys from dictionary in this form, that is d dot keys function, then you can only read the values. Okay, you can read only the values of the list, but you can't do any modification to that list. That's why they are called as just list like, but they are not true. They are not true list, right? Then third function, that is third method. So here this method is different from the keys and values. So because keys and values are going to give us list like data from the dictionary, but here items. So this items function is going to give us list like tuples, from the dictionary. Look into this one now here, right? See here there is a list, right? There is a list, but inside of that list you see here, what is there here inside of this list? Within parenthesis we have a key followed by value, key with a value. That means there is a tuple here. Each element of this list is a again tuple, right? So that means here it is going to, items function is going to return us, is going to give us list like tuples from the dictionary, and this items contains both the key and the value. Each of the item in the dictionary will contain key and value, so that is going to be in the list. Did you get this one now?
Yes, sir.
So why we require all these functions? Why? What is the need for these methods here? Okay, so let's try to understand here. See, for example, if I want to loop through all the keys of the dictionary, if I want to loop through each of the keys of the dictionary, so then what you can do for X, for example, so I'll take, instead of X, I'll take a K for key. For K in, what I'll do now here, I'll write the D dot keys. Now what I'm going to get here from D dot keys, I'm going to get all the keys from the dictionary. So then what this for loop does, it is the loop is going to iterate. It is going to iterate through each of the keys from the retrieved data from the dictionary. So now if I print, look at here, if I print K value, I will get all the keys one by one. Look at here now. The first key value is ABC, second key value is PQR, and the third key is MNO. So likewise, one by one key can be retrieved from the dictionary. Did you get this one? Earlier, I was getting just like a list like data, but with this loop, I can loop through every key of the dictionary. Similarly, what you can do, you can go with a V for values, V for values. Then you can write here D dot values, right? So then I'll write here print of V. So now it is going to loop through every value of the dictionary, that is 10, 20, 30. Did you understand? Are you getting? Because in
Yes,
most
sir.
of the applications,
Yes, sir.
usually what
Yes,
happens,
sir.
when you create a dictionary of a student, when you create a dictionary of books, when you create a dictionary of employee, or when you create a dictionary of some banks, right? So in that case, usually you used to loop through the different data information of the student or different data information of the books. That case, these kind of looping statements will help us to work on those applications, right? Likewise, you can go with like here for k comma v. Now since here, look at this one. Now the third one, items function is going to return a tuple, right? What is this each tuple is having here? First one is the key, the first one is key, and the second one is a value. So to store the first value, I use one variable, that is k. To store the second value, I use another variable called as v. So for k comma v in d dot items, right? If I write this one, sorry, what happened? Sorry, I missed the keyword in for k comma v in d dot items, right? Now if I print k comma v, so then I'll be getting each key and value. Okay, so there is a one, two terrestrial object as, sorry, I wrote a dot v, sorry, spelling typing mistake. So here comma, right? So then print of k comma v, right? Now look at here. So first one I got here ABC, then its value 20, then PQR its value 20, then MNO is value 30. So like this, by the help of these three methods, you can iterate through every element of the dictionary. Did you get these three functions first?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here is the slide for that, and also here is the example. Here are the examples. So this already I explained those examples here, right? So you can go through these examples later, right? So and one more thing, you read this red colored line. So what is here? The values written by these methods are not a true list. That I already explained. What is the difference between true list and list like? So they cannot be modified. I mean, when they are not true list, they cannot be modified, and you can't use the append method or even any other methods also, right? Here I just given an append method can't be used on that, right? Next, one more method here, that is get method. So look at into the get method here. Okay, what is the purpose of this get method? Okay, try to understand with the example. Yeah, so now we have already D with us, right? See, for example, if I want to search for some key in the dictionary, if I want to search for some key in this dictionary, what I can do here, see, for example, what's simple, I have a in keyword, so that helps me to work with either list or with the string or with the tuple or with even dictionary also, right? In keyword is basically used to search for something in the object. It may be a list, or it may be a tuple, or it may be a dictionary, or even it may be a string. Later you'll study about string also in detail. Now look at here, I want to search for this PQR, that key PQR in the D, whether it's available or not, that I want to know, right? What I'm getting here, just with the true in keyword, I'm getting it's available, that is true. That means this PQR is in the dictionary, right? Likewise, if I just write a PQR, then in D, yes, it is also available. So that's why it is giving true. Now if I just write here something else, HKL, HKK, okay, then in, then D. Now what it is giving here? Since HKK is not available in the dictionary, this key HKK is not available in the dictionary, it is giving us false, right? Now what you can do here to search for some key in the dictionary, you can write some small code here. Look at here, this one, right? Now I'll take an example here. So for example, I'll take here picnic items. Okay, picnic items. Right. So which is having two items here. One is apples with the value 5 and cups with the value 2. Right. Now I want to search for cups. Right. So what I can do, I can write this code here. Name equals, first I'll take here name equals to cups. Okay. Name equals to cups. Right. Sorry. Name equals to cups. Right. Now I want to search this name, that is cups, in the picnic items. So what I'll do, I'll write a code something like this. If name in picnic items, if name in picnic items, then print its value. Print its value. I'm searching for some key in the dictionary. I'm searching for some key in the dictionary. If that name, if that key exists in the dictionary, then I'm going to retrieve its value. I'm going to retrieve its value. So that's why I'll write here now picnic items of name. That is the key available in the name. Right. Else, I want to print, since it is not available, I want to print some value. So since it is not available, I can give it as 0, or even I can return -1 as per the user convenient. So either the user can return with 0 or can return with -1 or with some other value as user defines. So just I'll go with a 0. When the key doesn't exist in the dictionary, then it has to return with a 0. Right. Now look at here. So what I'm getting here on the code output now? What's the value I got here now? 2. So why I got 2? Why I got 2 here? Because we look at here what I'm searching for. I'm searching for cups, right? So that cups is available in the dictionary and its value is 2. So that's why if name in picnic items, this condition becomes true, right? Name in picnic items. Here I already shown how it searches for key in the dictionary. So PQR in D is true. Likewise, cups in picnic items, becomes true or false?
True.
Yes, if true, then what it is going to print here? It is going to print the value of the cups. That is picnic items of cups. What is the picnic items of cups value? 2. So that's why I got here 2. That's why I got 2 here. Now what I'll do here, now instead of name equals to cups, now what I'm going to do here, I'll write here apples. I'll write apples. Now I'll write the same code here. I'll write the same code. Right. We'll copy it and paste it. Now you run this. What is the output I got now?
5.
So since apple's value is 5, so I got the value 5. So look at here, just to search for one key in the dictionary and to retrieve its value, how much line I wrote here? How many lines I wrote here? How many lines I wrote here? Just to search
5.
one particular key and to get its value. If it is available in the dictionary, to get its value, I wrote 5 lines of code, right? See, then when you will get this 0, first try to understand when you'll get this 0, right? Now what I'll do here, instead of apples, now what I'll do here, I'll search for eggs, right? Now, yeah, so copy this code, right? Now what should be the output?
False.
0.
0. Yes.
0,
So
sir.
X is now it is going to search for eggs in the picnic items. Is there eggs in the picnic items? It's not available, so it condition becomes false here. This condition becomes false. When the condition becomes false, it is going to execute the else part. What is there in the else part? Print 0. So now I'll get the 0, which means try to understand here one more thing. I'll show you here. Right, one more thing I'll show you here, that is now instead of 0, now I'll put -1. Now what happens here, if the key doesn't exist in the dictionary, it is going to give us value -1. That means if the item exists in the dictionary, if the key exists in the dictionary, it is going to give us value. It is going to give us its value. If the key doesn't exist in the dictionary, then it is going to give us the user defined value. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
If the key exists in the dictionary, it is going to give its value. Otherwise, it is going to give us the user defined value. Either the value may be 0 or -1 or whatever user defines. right? Now to do this, we use 5 lines of code, but with the help of get method, you can do it with a single line. What is that? Look at here now. Simple, right? This picnic items dot get method, call the get method, then call with the name, that is this one, name. What I'm searching for, X. Name is having X right now, right? So just write here name, comma. First argument is the key to be searched. Get method is having two arguments. Get method is having two arguments. The first argument specifies the key to be searched in the dictionary. Then second argument is the default value to be returned if the key doesn't exist. Default value to be returned if the key doesn't exist. That is, see here, if the key doesn't exist, here I was returning 0. Here I was returning -1. Mean as user specifies. So now I want 0. If the key doesn't exist, I want 0. Right? Now look at here. If I just execute, what I'm getting now? What's the output here?
0.
Now? Right. Simple
0.
one line of
0.
code. Simple one line of code. Now I'll change it to -1. Now again, if the key, since name equals to X, since I defined name equals to X, so when I search for that X in the picnic items, it is not in the dictionary, so it is going to give us -1 now, as I defined -1 for the non-existence, right? So here it is going to give us -1. Likewise, you can give any value which you wish. So I may give 100, right? Now it will give us 100. You can keep some larger value, or you can better take minus negative values, so that from the negative values you can treat that the item doesn't, sorry, that key doesn't exist in the dictionary, right? Now change the value of name. Now change the value of name, right? Now I'll set it to apples. Now this item is exist in the dictionary, so now I'll call this one. Okay, now what will be the value, what this function is going to return us?
5.
Yeah,
5.
yes.
5, sir.
Now look at it. The name is apples. Since apples exist in the dictionary, so its value will be retrieved, and it gives us that value. That is fine. So what happens here? Whether you go for this code or you go for this method. Yes. Which one is
Code,
better?
sir.
Huh?
Method, sir.
Yes, get method is
Method.
better one, right? Because instead of writing these many lines of code, 5 lines of code, it is better to go with single line. Just one method will do the task for us, right? So here I given examples of so that kind, right? Understood now?
Yes, sir.
I will tell you the advantage where we have to apply this get method, where we have to apply some other methods. Okay, I'll discuss with the examples later. I'll take the programs where in these programs I'll use those methods. Okay, then you'll come to know where to apply, right? The next one, that is set default method. One more method I'm going to discuss, that is set default method. This is almost similar to get, but has some difference. Okay, now what this function does here? Now look at here. So this function, this method, set default method, is going to set a value. If the key doesn't exist. See, earlier what was happening if the key doesn't exist in the dictionary with the get method? What was happening if the key doesn't exist in the get method? I mean in the dictionary, what the get method was doing?
User-defined default
User-defined
value
value
is returning.
It was returning user-defined value, right?
Values.
But it was not adding that key to the dictionary, right? It was not adding that as a new item, as a new data item in the dictionary. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
It was just telling
Yes,
that
sir.
it is not
Yes,
there.
sir.
It is not there in the dictionary, and with some value as defined by the user, right? But this set default function is going to check whether a key exists in the dictionary or not. If key exists, then it is going to give us its value. If the key exists, it is going to give us its value as a get method does. If the key doesn't exist, then what it is going to do is it is going to add that key. It is going to add that key to the dictionary. Getting my point? If the key doesn't exist in the dictionary, it is going to add that key to the dictionary with the value as defined by the user. Right? Now, what exactly it is? Look at here now. So my picnic items is having now apples and cups. Now I want to add eggs. I want to insert eggs into the picnic items. Now how to do that? Simple. Just you call the function called as picnic item. Picnic items is the variable. then call the method called as set default, right? Then right x, that's first argument is, look at here, first argument is the key item to be searched for, the key item to be searched for, right? So that is I written here x. So even that is available in the name also, you can write the name. Mean the variable name can also be written here. Instead of direct value, you can write the variable name by taking the value in variable, right? Then what is the default value to be given for this x? So that default value is the second argument. So mean if x exists in the dictionary, then it has to return its actual value. If the x doesn't exist in the dictionary, then it has to set x with value 10 in the dictionary. So now right now in the picnic items we don't have x, so it is going to add that x into the dictionary. Now look at here, content of picnic items. What we got here now? What we got here?
Eggs.
X been added. X it was not there. Now it has been added to the dictionary. Correct. But what earlier what get method was doing? Did you get the difference between get method and set default method?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh.
Yes,
sir.
sir. 1 v 3. What about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Understanding, right?
Yes,
Understanding these
Yes, sir.
methods are very, very important.
Yes, sir.
Because as I said already,
Yes, sir.
for your DBMS project, you can
So if value is assigned before itself, then it will be overwritten, sir.
no. It is going to return its actual value. If already exists, it is not going to do anything. It just gives its value, already available value. I'll show you. I'll show you. Now, look at here now. Set default, right? Set default. See, after typing some characters, if you want to if you want to further extend that function by default, just you can type the tab button. It will take the function name full, right? You need not to type it, right? So now just I'll go with the x, which is already in dictionary, right? Which is already in dictionary. Then now this time I'll give 100, right? But is it going to modify the value now, x with 100,
No,
or will it give the 10?
10, sir.
Yes.
10.
Now look at that.
Sir.
So since if the key already exists in the dictionary, it is not going to do any modification. It simply returns its value. As get method does. Even get method was also doing the same thing, right? If the key exists, it was giving us its value. So here set default function also will do the same thing. But only addition in the set default is if the key doesn't exist, it is going to set the new key with the value given. Got it? Picnic items,
Yes, sir.
set default. Then now I'll search for apples. If it exists, it has to give its value. Otherwise, it has to set its value as 200. Right? Now I'll execute this method. Now look at here. So since apples already in dictionary, so it retrieved its value, that is 5, and it has given us 5. Got it? Like this. Now you can go for a different one. Like for example, I take a snacks. Okay, snacks. Okay. Now this time, what happened? You see here now. Picnic items. Since snacks was not there in the picnic items, so now it has added that snacks to dictionary. Did you get the difference between get and set default? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Here are some more examples. See, here I wrote a 1 line of code. So to do that, but if code was to be written on ourselves, look at here. How many lines of code you used to write? So this was the required code. To search for color in info, right? If color doesn't exist, then I want to add that color to the info dictionary, right? So here is another example, right? So if it doesn't exist, it has to create. If already exists, then it has to return its value. So this was the required code for that, right? Instead of writing these 5 lines of code, simple one line can do that work. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now
Yes,
you go for
Yes, sir.
one example program. That is I want is I want you to write a Python script to count the number of characters in a message, occurrences of characters in a message. I want you to write a Python script to count the number of occurrences of a character in a message. In a message. So this is the task, right? Right. Okay. Right. So did you get the problem statement? Problem
Yes, sir.
statement. Problem statement ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ನಾನು?
Number of occurrences of character in a message.
Right. Number of occurrences of a character in a message. See, for example, you assume that this is the message given to you, right? This is the message given to you, right? So either way, just I'll take simple this one, right? Here is one message. Here is one message. What is, if key already exists in a dictionary, then it returns its value, right? This is the one message given to you. In this message, what you need to find out is how many times that small I has occurred. How many times the small I has occurred? How many times capital I has occurred? How many times F is there in the message? How many times space is there in the message? How many times K is there in the message? Like every character that has occurred in the message is to be counted, and that dictionary you need to create. Did you get this one? From the message, you need to identify the unique keys, unique letters, unique characters, and for each character, you have to create one item in the dictionary. You have to create one item in the dictionary, and that key item should have its number of occurrences as a value. Number of occurrences as a value. See, for example, if I take a like which one? Small I. I'll take a small I. Like here, one occurrence is here, right? Now second occurrence is here. Then third occurrence is here. Fourth occurrence is here. Then fifth occurrence is here. Then sixth one is here. That means small I has occurred 6 times. So mean you must have a dictionary with I as a key and its value as 6. Did you get this one?
6.
Like this, for every character, we have to generate a dictionary. In one dictionary, you should have all the letters encountered in the message and with its number of occurrences as a value. Do write that program. 2.55 minutes is there. Do write that program. Yes, did you finish? What? Over. Finished writing? Hello all, you are there?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Literal one.